also address item 27, Memorial Avenue Investment Limited site.
Thank you.
Welcome.
The Avonhead Community Group acknowledges with deep gratitude the opportunity given to us to present our deputation this morning. Our thanks to Mayor and all the councillors for giving us this opportunity. We are a neutral, non-political residents organization. Our prime object is to secure the best interest for Avonhead and the surrounding areas. We represent over 7,400 households from this area. We are concerned about the recommendation in item 27 of the supplementary agenda for today's meeting to reverse the resolution on 5th June 2014 to defer the decision on the mill site to phase 2 of the DPR. We are here to place before the council why the resolution to defer the decision on the mill site to phase 2 should be confirmed. First of all, the inclusion of the mill site in the LURP as a priority greenfield business zone was done without any consultation with the community. In section 32 of the industrial chapter at page 7, it is stated, and I quote, that during the pre-notification stage of drafting the industrial chapter, a number of consultation meetings have been held. 2 sessions with stakeholders, industry, landowners, investors, and other interested parties were held on 22nd and 29th August 2013 to seek community views on the proposed industrial chapter. Quote ends. The Avonhead Community Group would like to point out here that this information is entirely inaccurate in relation to the mill site. The landowners right next door to the mill site, the Hotel Copthorne Commodore, were not even informed of the proposed industrial park until the public information evening on 18th March 2014. Further, we, the Avonhead Community Group, was never informed or consulted about the mill site proposal. This was despite the fact that our concern about industry and business in Avonhead was well known to the officials in the Strategy and Planning Unit here. We were never informed that the site was being negotiated for inclusion under the LARP and the DPR. Further, at the public information evening on 18th March 2014, the officials informed the community that the only possible use for the mill site was industry because of the LARP. The officials categorically replied to repeated questions from the audience that no alternate use would be possible. We have since learned that the mill site is being contemplated for a 200-room hotel, which is a non-industrial use that is allowed under what is known as Policy 4. This is on the page 75 of your section 32 of the DPR. It shows that the community was deliberately misled on the contemplated and possible uses of this land. Moreover, a hotel in this site contradicts the council's main objective of bringing back business and hotels to the city center. Due to the overwhelming public opposition to the mill site proposal, we believe that the decision to defer it to phase 2 is entirely appropriate. We have been told by Sarah that the council is empowered to decide how the LARP is implemented through the DPR. It is within the council's discretion to put the mill site in phase 2. The council shouldn't have to owe a duty of care to a small group of interested landowners when the entire community is against this decision. Further, it cannot be argued that the site owners had some legitimate expectation that the land would be rezoned to industry or business by the end of phase 1, when it was well known to every party involved that there was so much of public opposition to the proposal and a lot of legal uncertainty about how the LARP and DPR would interact, as well as the time frame over which the decision would be taken. Moreover, Any claim that the owners had a right to the rezoning being carried out under Phase 1 shows blatant contempt for the Council's avowed stance that it would undergo a process of public consultations, submissions, and hearings prior to any notification. The supplementary agenda recommends that the mill site be brought back to Phase 1 on the grounds that the owners of the mill site reached an understanding with council officials that including the site in the DPR would result in a quicker decision-making process than a private plan change proposal. We consider this to be strongly objectionable. It was known to planning officials that the mill site was a controversial site with the community. In view of earlier court cases, it was clear that the mill site would need to go through extensive public consultation. For the officials to try and facilitate the zone change by including the mill site in the LARP and the DPR shows a deliberate intention to disregard public opinion here. This goes against the Council's avowed policy of openness with the public and is a travesty of fair procedure and democracy. If anyone is responsible for reaching the situation, it is not the Council, but the individual officials for working against the established principles of natural justice. The Council is responsible for the wider community, not just any private landowner. If the owners decide to take the mill site out of the DPR and restart a private plan change process, it does not place any obligation on the Council to facilitate the zone change by keeping the mill site on Phase 1. According to item 27 itself, a private plan change is a longer process. It still requires a zone change and resource consent under the ordinary, non-truncated procedure. It will still be the Council's ultimate decision whether or not to grant the private plan change in view of the impact on the locality. The possibility that the mill site owners may restart the private plan change is no reason for the Council to fast-track the mill site under Phase 1 of the DPR. The community deserves a fair treatment from this Council, and we are confident that the majority of the councillors, the mayor, and the deputy mayor, all of you have the highest respect for the community's opinion. Deferring the mill site to Phase 2 is an example of your respect, since it will give you a better opportunity to fully comprehend the whole issue. I am confident that all of you around the table will understand the anguish of the local community at the proposed plan changes. The proposal benefits no one except for a handful of landowners who want to reap an immediate benefit at the cost of the whole community and a sustainable environment. I should reiterate here that we, the community, are not against any sustainable development. We are against bringing industries and business in residential areas. Rasley Business Park is one of the worst examples of the misconceived planning in the earlier regime. We can't allow the same to be repeated in the mill site again. The Avonhead Community Group is committed to supporting this council is bringing a sensible approach to proposing any plan change in this area. It needs to be through a meaningful dialogue between the community and the councillors who are our democratically elected representatives. We are the council's partner in the mission to build a better Christchurch. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Brad?
Thanks for your submission. In terms of not being against any kind of development, what would you see as a compromise solution, perhaps, or what would you see as development for this site being acceptable to the local community?
It could be anything except industry and business. It could be anything which will not disturb a residential community around the area, which will not have traffic chaos, infrastructural chaos. And this assurance was given to the court in 2005 and 2007 by the same Planning and Strategy Unit. We have got the judgment that due to the inadequacy of infrastructural situation there, like the sewer line, stormwater drainage, and so many things, the earlier case, mill site owners lost. And council said that it will take another 10 years to develop. Court said, okay, after 10 years, once it is developed, then you come back. Without developing the infrastructure, once again, the whole thing is being changed to industry. Whole thing is being changed for business, and the load what will come on us for the exit and ingress for those areas is going to create a havoc problem for us.
Jamie?
Thank you very much, Professor. Why, obviously this council has the utmost respect for its residents, and that this is part of the process. And how would progressing this through stage one not be showing the utmost respect to our residents, and what is the benefit, the tangible residential benefit to pushing this to stage two, as opposed to the recommendation which is to proceed?
The difference between stage one being considered and stage two as being contemplated in the last meeting, that we hope that there will be adequate opportunity for the local community to have their opinion right from the beginning, and even from conceiving the plan what they contemplate to do there. We are being told once that there will be an office complex, sometime being said in the paper that it will be it can be proposed for a 200-bed hotel. Tomorrow we may find there's something else, it may be an chimney-based industry. Something should come in consultation with the community. We are not against development. We know it's an iconic site. We are very, very mindful about the whole issue. We do not want to make the landowners a loser. We want to work with them, but it should be in the interest of the community. It shouldn't be just in the interest of petty landowners. That's all.
So it's about a more robust and comprehensive process for such
Exactly, a comprehensive process, and which should respect the community's viewpoint, that they should know that what community expect from them and how the council, that the way they want to contemplate their planning, then the council can be a party to make a meaningful dialogue and prepare a plan change.
Right, thank you very much for your time and effort in coming in today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I know that previously I felt that it would be appropriate to move straight on to this item on the agenda, but I'm now worried about the time that we're under, time pressure. It's 10 to 12. I have to present a submission this afternoon on behalf of the council to a select committee that's in town. So I'm trying to get a steer from councillors. Do you want to deal with this matter right now, or? Yep, deal with it now. All right, so could we have staff at the table to deal with item 27?